please.
Yeah. Oh, treat yourself. We're in the kitchen now with John Torode. Ruth's already dug into these Portuguese custard tarts. We're very excited about this, John.
Oh, I'm really pleased, and it's funny, isn't it? Everybody today seems to be wanting these tarts, and it's not something that you sort of normally make on this morning, because they are an unusual thing, and they are very, very different in the way they've been made. And they've been made because when you eat them, and many people may have actually had them in that big beloved chicken where they do barbecued chicken. That's where people seem to know them from. Pastel De Nata, little Portuguese custard tarts.
Nando's.
That's it. That's the one. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Exactly.
The jig is up. The jig is up, guys.
That's it. Anyway, but the pastry itself is quite interesting because it's all flaky. The filling's made from eggs. There's a big story about them, but the pastry actually ends up looking like this. It's got a little spirally mixture. And so what we're going to do is make two different doughs, and that's why it becomes difficult. You can do it with puff pastry, but you won't get that real flakiness because actually these are cooked, the whole thing's cooked raw, whereas with puff pastry, usually you've got to cook it a little bit first, otherwise it goes a bit doughy. Yeah. So there's two different pastries go on. There's one which I was called a sort of a short pastry or water pastry, which is flour and butter, which are rubbed together with salt and some sugar. And then once you've done that, as if you were making a crumble at home, so you just rub that all together, then you add to that water. And that makes this sort of watery, buttery dough. I love the fact that you two are just munching away.
Honestly,
do you know,
don't care.
This is the first time ever...
Flattered. We're eating your lovely food.
I love it, but it's the first time ever in the history of me doing not MasterChef, I'm doing This Morning.
Oh, he's on the promo trail.
On This Morning in all the nearly 20 or over 20 years, that the gallery has actually asked for the food before we cook it.
No.
Yeah, they're actually eating it already. Anyway,
good.
So really quickly, you make your butter mixture go together, add to that some water, bring that all together, and you make your first dough. The second dough is the one which everybody sort of goes, ooh, and this is where it becomes very, very naughty. So this makes into a dough. That's how fast it is.
That is quick.
All the recipes are, of course, on the app, so go for it. And that turns into one dough, it goes in the fridge and it's set. Second one, half lard, half butter.
Right.
This is the flaky bit.
This is the flaky bit. This is what makes it flaky. And if you're going to make puff pastry, you do the same.
Why lard and butter? Because
they're two different fats. Butter melts at a different temperature. So the butter, as it cooks, starts to fry. The lard allows you to get your lift.
Right.
So you've got... And, of course, we know lift's important, don't we?
Oh, we love a lift.
We love a bit of lift.
Where would we be without a lift?
Mix that all
on the floor.
But you don't have to add any water to that. You mix that all together, you end up with two completely different doughs.
So John, is there, like, I'll take it there's a vegan alternative to lard, is there, that you can totally use?
There probably is, or vegan suet. Okay. Or vegetarian suet would probably work just as well. Great. You know, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? This is a classic dish, and trying to be vegan when it's got eggs and it's got all that sort of stuff.
Someone out there will know something.
They will know something somehow, right? So now you've got your two doughs, you roll them out into two completely different rectangles, and then you put one rectangle on top of the other rectangle, and you fold it over as if you were going to do puff pastry, fold it over again, and then you roll it and you push it out. Once you push it out like this, you then roll it again, and roll it and roll it.
I find that so therapeutic.
Yeah. And it's quite nice to do. And this is a really good thing, I think, to do with the children. You keep on rolling it and folding it about 3 or 4 times, and what will happen eventually is you'll end up with this cylinder like this, and you keep on roll it. That's it, pinwheel. And then you get your kids just to roll it out and keep on going and going and going to get a sausage, like, you know, like you would if you were doing a snake at home. And then you've got you've got this mixture here. So now we've got our mix.
Nice.
Now, there's our sort of swirl that we want. The only way you're going to get that is to cut from the middle. Don't cut from the ends, because the end's going to be uneven. Yeah. So cut from the middle, and you take a middle cut.
Work out. And
then you get yourself a decent thick piece. Ooh. You don't use a rolling pin or anything. All you do is you just put it onto a board and use the palm of your hand, push it out so that you can still see the swirls. So you can see those little swirls that are in there. Turn it over there, you'll still see more swirls. Into there again, and then you put it into your tart case. Now,
so rather than try and pull it apart, just push it down.
But just push it down so you keep the swirly in it, and then push it together. Now, if it's got a hole in it, it's fine. It's not an issue, because that just goes in there. And then we make our egg filling. Egg filling. Now, the egg filling is very, very quick. 6 egg yolks, a little bit of milk, and a little bit of flour goes together. Add to that some sugar syrup, which is in the recipes. That's fine. That goes in there. So the sugar doesn't
You
come...
make your own sugar syrup.
You have to make your own sugar syrup. That's why this works. That's why they puff up and go glistening.
I did not know that.
So that's that.
Just sugar and water.
Just sugar and water. Yeah, and again, the recipe's there. Just go for it. Hot milk with some lemon in it, lemon rind
That really
in it.
scares me, putting hot milk into egg. Is that not going to be
No,
scrambled?
absolutely fine. Let that cool down. You got your custard mixture.
Lovely.
From raw, in you go. You just fill up your tart cases almost to the top.
He's good, isn't he?
Oh, I think he should be a chef.
You're quite
There you
good
go.
at this.
Go into the oven, as Ryland said, as hot as possible.
Yeah.
No,
So
they
I didn't
cook.
realise my oven could go that hot. There was a different setting. I think it was like Circotherm intensive.
Why
They
does
are
it have to be
extensive-
so hot?
Because otherwise it doesn't get brown and the pastry doesn't cook. So the pastry, don't forget, that's raw pastry.
Yeah.
It's got to cook from the outside. We've got a minute to go, Ryan. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
We're going to do espresso martinis in a minute.
Right.
Ice, you've got already.
Right.
OK. The big glass is vodka. In goes the vodka.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got some sugar syrup. You've got some vermouth. You've got some coffee. And you've got some Kahlua.
Do you have all that coffee?
All that in there? All of it?
going in.
All of those?
If it fits in, will it all fit?
Get one in.
Will it fit?
I'll get another one in.
Oh,
I'll fit
there's
that
a
in.
lot in there.
No, it's like cocktail in
OK,
here.
here we go. OK, it's going to
Oh,
go everywhere.
I've
Be
got a
careful.
dodgy lid.
OK, you've got to shake like mad. Shake, shake, shake,
right.
shake, 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 shake. And once you've shaken, because you need the froth on the top, you need that froth on the top, you've got to make sure
Keep that camera up, please.
that you take the top off. Look, here we go. Take the top off.
Oh, I'll never get this.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'm ready, I'm ready.
Let's go on. We'll do a twos up. There we
Two's
go.
up.
Twos up.
Oh, two's up.
Twos up. Tartana martini.
There's the front.
Twos up.
for
Who
Roo.
are you calling a tartana martini?
There we go.
John, thank you so
John,
much.
cheers, thank you.
We love you.
Cheers.
All that's going to be on the app, like John said, so do not miss it all.
Ooh, that's
lovely.
strong.